Welcome to the second game of the Round League Women's Final Four. Today we have NARPS versus Flavortown. Flavortown in red, NARPS in white. And now I'm sitting with the Round League Raffle Skills champ, Sam Whiteley.
You know, Julian, I'm ready to turn the focus away from me and onto our second semifinal matchup, but I will say it is difficult to do so. If you were in the building for what just transpired between Game 1 and Game 2 of our doubleheader, then you know it'll be talked about for quite a while, especially by me. Mostly by me, honestly.
And here we have tip-off. Winner going on to the championship Wednesday, October 4th. Here we have number 5, Casson Hopkins, captain of Flavortown.
Some really quick ball movement from Flavortown to start this game.
NARPS off to a strong start with Sammy Rico cutting to the basket here.
Averages 16 points a game. That's second on the team at a George Fox University. It's produced a lot of really good women's basketball teams.
Flavortown, we have Liz Logsden, Casson Hopkins, number 6, Grace Berry, and Brittany Kokendorfer with the ball. Finds the cutting, Liz Logsden. NARPS finds Sammy Rico again.
Shanice Awase with the swat there. This was an impressive defensive play. Swatting the shot against a player a lot taller than she was down low.
And for NARPS, we have Sarah Curl, number 16, Leanna Tanaka, number 1, Sammy Rico, number 7, Megan Wiesel, and that's number 2, Amanda Carpenter for Flavortown.
Flavortown, a team known for their chemistry. About half of their roster, I believe, played together at Willamette University, so a ton of familiarity with each other, especially for this level.
And here in the second game of the women's Final Four, we do have 3 refs who have been pretty warmed up from our first game that got a little bit chippy with Still Got It moving on to the championship in that game.
It wouldn't be, to me, Julian, at this point I can say comfortably it wouldn't be a round league semifinal game unless a player from either side needed to talk to Commissioner Rich personally after the game.
Grace Berry with a skip pass over to Casson Hopkins.
Hopkins already hit 1 3, missed that time.
Amanda Carpenter with a good look. Over to Rico, who's been energetic in this first few minutes so far.
Nice wraparound pass from Awase.
Over to Sarah Curls, who gets the rebound and follows up with a good hook there. Again, in these round league games, very little time for warm-up, so you see a little bit of a rust being shaken off on this cold Monday evening out in Beaverton at the Round League HQ.
Good job of crashing, getting that offensive board by Grace Berry. Another one from Hopkins. Flavortown doesn't have a lot of size, but still able to grab themselves some, sneak in and get some offensive rebounds.
There's Rico, finds herself on the other side of the court for the open 3, gets it to fall. Rico off to a hot start here.
That's already a couple threes for her. Again, played at George Fox. All those teams average easily over 100 points a game.
Carpenter over to Hopkins. Little miscommunication there, up to number 16, Leanna Tanaka. Grace Berry picks it up, over to Carpenter. Hopkins in the corner.
Hopkins, team captain of this Flavortown squad.
Gets an open look from Berry, can't get it to fall. Uwasi with the rebound.
Once again, though, Seeing Flavortown use a little flare screen action to free up the shooter. Kind of running plays without really communicating much with each other. Just shows how much they've played together before.
Rico using the screen, but Brittany Kokendorfer for Flavortown there to stop the reverse pivot. Megan Wessel for three, can't get it to fall. Kokendorfer off the fast break to Carpenter, back to Kokendorfer.
It's a great fast break. Like Copender and Carpenter just couldn't get the lay-in to fall. Kind of a slow start offensively for both teams as Awase misses. Close to an over and back. Good save.
Gets the offensive rebound. Rico looking to get active. Over to Curls. Great looking mid-range jumper there from the elbow.
Yeah, that was some beautiful backspin on that release. That's a very enviable release, even for somebody who just made a half-court shot
Beautiful
a few moments
pass
ago.
From Grace Berry over to Liz Logsdon on a dime.
Logsdon doing a nice job of moving without the ball. Maybe they can find her for some cuts and some easy shots. It's been a little bit of a slow start, as mentioned. Awase going one-on-one.
Nice little spin cycle with the scoop with the left.
Maybe the sauciest move of the night so far. We had a lot of great ones in our first game, too, so it's tough. Here's Logsdon with a nice find. It's the ball movement we've talked about with Flavortown. It rarely sticks.
Berry using the screen from Kokendorfer over to Carpenter in the quarter, who isn't afraid to shoot.
Yeah, not a lot of them are falling for Hopkins and Carpenter early, but you can tell they're both very good three-point shooters, and they'll continue to fire them.
And again, we have NARPS in white with Uwasi for three.
Shanice Awase with back-to-back buckets out of University of Missouri Science and Technology. I like her game.
A lot of syllables in that college.
So you know it's a good one.
Ooh, finds the cutter. Great ball movement. Hockey assist from Uwasi. Assist by Rico. Timeout by Flavortown early on.
Yeah, NARPS getting out in transition a little bit.
12-point game here, 18 minutes to go in the second game of the women's Final Four. Winner goes on to face Still Got It. We're seeing a lot of good movement from NARPS so far. Flavortown just trying to find a little bit of a rhythm and strategic direction in their matchups going into this game. Flavortown has 6 on the court right now as Liz Logsdon steps off. Now we have in number...
Looks like almost a totally new group for Flavortown. Cass and Hopkins, the only one staying on the floor, makes a nice extra pass for the corner. As NARPS is going to a zone look defensively. They're out in transition again. Megan Westland with the finish that time. Sarah Curls the assist.
Hopkins over to Chanel.
If NARPS is going to stay with this zone, I know they're not falling right now, but Flavortown's going to have to continue to shoot these threes with confidence.
And Flavortown running the traditional 4-out-1 in on the zone.
Awase sneaking in for the rebound. Yeah, I like the action that they're going with against the zone, just the shots aren't really falling. It's tough when you don't have a lot of a size to attack zones sometimes if your threes aren't falling.
Just a bit short from Liana Tanaka out of Pacific University, averaging 12 a game. Chanel Celis bringing it up out of Warner Pack. Casson Hopkins trying to step through, draws the foul.
Little screen the screener action there. You and I both like to take note of any set out of bounds play action that we see in this. Little contact, good finish from Hopkins. Badly needed bucket there.
Great court awareness, as I don't believe Hopkins looked up at the hoop on that one. Got it to fall off the reverse. Quick 4 points for Hopkins.
Set up by the turnover and the steal there. Julian, do my eyes deceive me, or do we have another Apple Watch on the floor currently?
The sponsor of the night, Apple Watch in the Round League. We have number 7, Megan Wessel, coming to the line from Pacific University, averaging 8 and 6 for NARPS.
She's already done some good work in the low post tonight. Had the nice basket in transition earlier. Gets the free throw there.
Yeah, there's been a curiosity seeing a handful of Apple Watches and Fitbits out here tonight. Hopkins with the board. Over to Maddie Molheim.
A little bit of a
great placement to Tanaka to the cutting Rico.
That was a heck of a pass by Tanaka. Great job moving along the baseline by Rico as well, but it's not an easy pass to make going over the head like that, throwing the fastball.
NARPS getting to the line, causing some foul trouble that will come into play later in this game.
NARPS the number 2 overall seed. Flavortown the number 3 seed. So no upsets in the early rounds of this postseason tournament. The 4 favorites getting the final 4 spots.
Chanel looking to hit number 44, Audrey Rieskamp. Just a bit behind her as Hopkins subs out for Grace Berry.
Grace Berry going to give Hopkins her first rest.
Here we have number 6, Uwasi, bringing up the ball, using the screen.
Shanice Uwasi with a lot of sauce to her game at the point guard position. I am a fan.
Maddie Molheim from the corner. Can't get the shooter's touch to go.
And again, for Flavortown going against this zone, it's just so tough with no size in the middle of it to try and attack it and get some more shots around the rim.
As Sarah Curls gets the floater down the lane. Gather step from Chanel Sellis.
Yeah, Sellis just kind of putting her head down and bowling her way into the high post. Get the turnover here and a run-out chance.
Got a little anxious. Called for the travel here.
Nice steal by Audrey Rieskamp, just going a little too fast, dragging the pivot foot transition. Owase's getting the clear out, step back. It's a little offline.
And for Flavortown, number 19, Michaela Marie Batanga bringing the ball up court out of Warner Pack. Over to Audrey Rieskamp. Oh.
Sarah Rico doing a great job of leaking out. Getting ahead of the floor, ahead of the pack.
Spot-specific pass from Sarah Curls. Sub in here, number 6, Liz Logsden for Audrey Rieskamp.
Logsden a little taller, gives them a little better option in the post.
And again, we have Flavortown in red, NARPS in white for those tuning in. Of the second game of the women's Final Four.
Tanaka drawing the foul there along the sideline.
Rico taking the ball up top. Gets the screen from Curls for the mid-range jumper, and it's good. Shown all-around game from Rico tonight.
Yeah, again, played at George Fox and is shooting like a former George Fox Bruin. Program known for putting together teams that play at a fast pace and score a ton of points.
Here we have Liz Logsdon going to the line from Willamette University. One of 5 Willamette players on Flavortown. Logsdon can't get it to fall.
1 out of 2 for Logsdon.
And here we have NARPS taking a timeout.
Sure, your standard kind of midway through the first half fatigue management kind of timeout we're seeing right here.
Yeah. Do have it at a 15-point ball game currently, but Flavortown working their way back into the game. Moving good in transition, getting some open shots. As NARPS has just been able to get to the foul line, led by Sammy Rico. The Wassy bringing it up court.
They really like to spread things out and just give her room to play a one-on-one game. Doesn't work there.
Playing through a lot of contact on both ends.
Logsdon down low with the seal and the 2. Nice feed from Grace Berry, who saved that possession by grabbing a loose ball, and now does create the steal. Berry's done a really nice job on the defensive end.
The cutting Berry over
Great
to
bounce
Logsdon.
pass to Logsdon again. Well, when you're struggling to get baskets and easy shots, sometimes the best thing you can do is get a steal, create a fast break opportunity. We're starting to see Flavortown do that a little bit.
Eating back into that lead that NARPS is holding by committing a few turnovers here.
See him communicating through the switch defensively. Rico can't quite finish that time. She's been big in this first half.
Molheim with the stop and pop, just short. Rico with the board.
Again, just Flavortown continue to really struggle to get anything to fall outside of the paint. Great steal by Molheim there, though.
Skip pass over to Chanel Celis in the corner. Inside to Logsdon.
There's the hot hand right now. Nice kick out. Molheim again with the head fake in the finish.
Took a little trip to London with that Euro step.
And that's a 7-0 Flavortown run to get it back under 10.
They've really keyed in on Rico. Banks open on Monday night somewhere. Sarah Curls puts it in from 3.
Sarah Curl out of Pacific University, captain of this NARPS team. Big answer.
Michaela Marie looking for the 3 there. Can't get it to fall. Calling
Travel
the travel
before the tie-up.
Here we have subbing in number 4, Brittany Kokender and number 2, Amanda Carpenter. One thing to mention here, NARPS is playing with 5 players. Not much on the bench to work with as Flavortown continues to eat into the league and use some of their depth on the bench to stay fresh.
Beautiful 3-point shot from Molheim. Maybe that'll break the ice. They had been on kind of a drought from 3 since the opening minutes of half. Carpenter, I believe, has the other 3 right now for Flavor Time. Take on the reverse, but curls the rebound.
Sarah Curl on the fast break there over to Wassell. Ooh, Wassy puts a little bit of a spin.
She's got that spin cycle in her bag for sure. We've seen her show it a few times.
Overexcited on the break there. A little bit of a travel. But again, you're starting to see a little bit of that fatigue settle in for NARPS as running at a fast pace with only 5.
Yeah, they've been making this a very open court, up and down game. Tough to do for 44 straight minutes with no subs. Timeout's the only way they're really able to afford themselves any rest. Does make it easy on us commentating the game.
Again, winner looking to go play Still Got It in the championship, who won their last game, led by T. Anderson with 31.
If you joined us a little bit late and missed our first game, it was a great performance by Still Got It. T. Anderson and China Finley both went off. Ani's PDX made a little bit of a late push, but too much size for Still Got It.
All offense starting for NARPS through Shanice Uwase.
Yeah, just that running that screen and roll game with Westland and then Shanice Uwase is basically the entire offense right now for NARPS, but it's been effective.
Hopkins gets a look, can't get it to fall.
Flavortown picking a frustrating night to be cold from beyond the arc, given they're facing a zone and they've had some pretty good looks. Good defense from Logsdon there. Rico's been the other hot hand for NARPS most of tonight.
Yeah, NARPS is doing a pretty good job holding off a few runs from Flavortown to maintain their lead at 10 and some change as Curls looks for the 3.
Logsdon drawing the hard foul. That's been the best source of offense for Flavortown, is getting in transition and finding Logsdon at the rim.
Logsdon back to the line here.
Spent a good deal of time at the line as well.
Gets the first one to fall. Again, you do have to ask, is there a basketball mode on Apple Watches? So we've seen quite a few out today.
If there's not, then there should be. I'll say as much. This is not that they need free publicity, but this has been great free publicity for the Apple Corporation.
If not, the Round League Apple Watch app coming soon. Patent pending. As Uwase looks to take it to the hole and create some space.
NARPS doing a nice job of being patient, seeing them have some long possessions without just standing around, able to move the basketball and continue to attack for 20, 30 seconds uninterrupted. Molheim again with the extra pass. I thought should have gone all the way to the hoop. Uh-oh.
Hopkins almost gets the pocket picked by Rico. Carpenter open, who's been looking for her shot all night.
Right on line. They have just not fallen very often.
Curls up to Uwase for the stop and pop.
She is also not bashful to get any shot up.
Another check.
Doubles up on the deep threes.
Can't be afraid to shoot when you've only got 5.
Logsdon had her shot blocked that time, but Hopkins there to pick it up. Cleans up the mess. It's another first half timeout by NARPS.
Again, likely just a breather timeout here as Flavortown hits into the lead, only down 7. NARPS in white, Flavortown in red. Looking like it's going to come down to a pretty competitive second half here. Fatigue from NARPS versus depth of Flavortown.
Yeah, obviously, Flavortown down 7. Not thrilled with the way this half has gone, but considering how cold they've been from 3 against this zone, you've got to feel pretty good about where you're at. Defensively played with a lot of energy, and NARPS fallen into a bit of a drought. Relying a lot on Shanice Uwase in that screen and roll game. Here comes another one for her right now. Now she tells the screener to get out.
Uwase looking to get to the basket. Gets the ball to Rico, who had a hot start early on to give NARPS the boost.
Here's a look for Curl in the post. Immediately kicks it back out to Tanaka, though.
Again, no shot clock in the final 4 here, so NARPS using their time wisely to find a shot that they're happy with.
Yeah, NARPS taking advantage of not playing with the pressure of a shot clock right now.
Chanel Celis bringing the ball up court with a little bit of pressure. Owase with the board.
Draws the foul.
A little bit of a pogo step there to get to the dominant left hand.
One of those Euros that looks like it traveled, but was probably pretty sound.
Yeah.
Just a bit awkward, but
one thing going in NARP's way so far this game is just adding a few fouls here and there to various Flavortown players to hopefully have an advantage towards the end of the game.
Yeah, foul trouble obviously when as Owase hits the second, break a little bit of a NARPS drought, but foul trouble so important when you don't have any subs. If you lose somebody, you're playing with 4.
Hopkins, bottom of the net.
That's that wing 3 coming off of an off-ball flare screen that has given Hopkins a lot of good looks tonight. Hasn't been able to hit as many as she usually does, but that was money. Rico trying to get it back.
Can't quite match it, but another offensive rebound by Megan Wessel.
Doesn't quite feel like a 4-point game, but you look up and Flavortown's almost come all the way back.
Kokendorfer makes it even closer. With the
and you know, this is too good of a shooting team. Too many former college basketball players to stay cold from 3 the entire game, and we're seeing that now.
And if you're NARPS, you're just trying to hold this lead together until halftime with a minute to go here. Megan Wessel in the post, can't get it to fall.
For the lead. And after nothing was falling for Flavortown earlier, that's 3 in a row now.
Starting to get a little bit of rhythm, warmed up, good rotations, and some stops on D by Flavortown.
Sometimes in this game, it's just a little bit about a regression to the mean. We know they're really good shooters. If they're missing a lot, that probably might mean that a hot streak is coming just to even it back out.
Over to Curls in the corner. Kokendorfer feeling a little bit of pressure.
Hopkins giving a quick look at how much time we've got.
20 seconds here. 1-point game. Flavortown up 1.
Flavortown's going to take a chance if they can to hold for the final one.
A little bit of a flare screen there. This looks like Kokendorfer comes down awkward.
Yeah, Maya landed on top of someone's ankle and turned it. It's never fun. Something Julian just went through himself a few weeks ago.
Kokendorfer here, just trying to get some air, feel it out. Should take a timeout.
Get your ABCs. Not going to put a whole lot of weight on it, but at least good to see her walk off under her own power. Something I probably would not want to do in that situation.
Yeah, always.
If I turn an ankle, that stretcher is coming. I don't care how long it holds the game up.
Always a positive sign to be able to walk off on your own weight and your own power there, but definitely want to get some ice on that soon.
Just 2 seconds left. Curls got up the look but wouldn't fall, so that takes us to halftime.
32-31, Flavortown in the lead. Here we are back in the second half of our second game of a doubleheader in the women's Final Four. Flavortown versus NARPS. Winner goes on to play Still Got It in the championship on Wednesday. And if you're just tuning in, make sure to follow the Round League on Instagram to check out for post-game interviews, highlights, stats, and more. Right now, leading for Flavortown, Liz Logsden with 9.
Been a pretty balanced effort for Flavortown.
And for NARPS, leading scorer is Sammy Rico with 9.
Shanice Owasu right behind her. Again, a pretty balanced act offensively for both teams, really. Logsden got Flavortown going with some easy baskets when they were really struggling the first 10 minutes of the game or so to score.
Using the screen.
Flavortown's bench talking through
As
what NARPS wants to do offensively right now.
And as NARPS bench is silent because there are only 5 players.
As there is no one to occupy it. Yes, that becomes an advantage for Flavortown the deeper we get into this. As Logsden ties the game. Hasn't been tied since first minute or two. Nearly a poke away by Mulheim.
Over to Tanaka.
Again, this is what I think NARPS needs to do, is not panic, remain patient offensively. And also needs to avoid turnovers like that, obviously. But
A little bit of a skip pass over to the ref here.
Mulheim attacking, trying to get to the rim before NARPS can get set defensively. Nice bounce to Logsden, and one.
I will say one thing, Logsden shows great footwork today, as found herself in an awkward position there and came out smoothly to get to the right side of the basket.
A little bit of an unorthodox release from the line, but it's been effective, even though she missed that one.
Wasi over to Wessel. Wessel gets it to fall.
Shanice Owasu with the assist, a badly needed basket there. Gets NARPS back within 4.
Carpenter to Logsden. Over to Mulheim for 3. Barry gets the poke to keep it alive and draws the foul.
Nice unselfish play there from Amanda Carpenter. I thought she could have gone up with that shot near the rim herself. Instead hit Grace Barry, who's played a really nice game at both ends. Made a lot of plays defensively as well.
Barry's game gives me Steve Nash vibes. Great facilitator, court vision.
Even a pretty similar stroke at the foul line. I thought the slightly crooked rim may have cost her on that first attempt.
And here's the interesting thing we're seeing now is Uwasi continues to bring up the ball on the right side of the court this half, as last half bringing up on the left side for her dominant hand.
Yeah, going from our vantage point now from left to right instead of right to left. Kind of flips the set over. Nice job moving without the ball by Rico, just couldn't finish.
Hopkins with the board.
Maybe a bit of a frustration foul there by Rico, going for the steal in the backcourt after she missed a shot from close in.
Continuing to add pressure and trying to get some easy buckets for NARPS, as Flavortown has definitely started to find a rhythm here. Up 4.
Yeah. Playing through Logsden. As soon as Carpenter gave that entry pass, NARPS' entire team basically collapsed on the post there.
And here we have subbing in number 19 for Flavortown, Michaela Marie Batonga, and number 5, Chanel Sellis. And this is where I'll have to give my Sneakers of the Game award to Chanel Sellis, rocking the reverse Bruce Lee Kobe's.
hard to find. Hashtag rare.
Yeah.
I would love to ask Chanel what plug she had to find those.
Logsdon tries to force one in over to Michaela Marie. Can't get it to fall.
That's a pair of shoes. It's not even about being able to afford them. It's just straight up getting your hands on a pair.
In good condition, let alone. Tanaka takes it in, finds Wessel over to Watson.
Julian, given the value of a brand new Wilson Indoor Evolution men's size basketball, is nice take by Shanice again there, is $80. I can't even imagine what some reverse Bruce Lee Coveys would be.
And here we have NARPS just trying to get an offensive rhythm after a hot start in the first half and a little fatigue setting in the second part of that first half. And here we get Sarah Curl stepping in to take a charge.
It's the kind of player Curl is. She plays like a glue piece, a captain. Takes charges, facilitates.
Yeah.
Seems to be at the center point of a lot of their offensive sets. It's a nice off-ball screen there into a pick and roll with Tanaka.
To the cutting Wessel.
That's going up. Also has the capability to step out and knock down that shot. Didn't fall that time, though.
Yeah, there's something about taking a charge. I didn't do it much when I played, but I always respected those who did.
Yeah, exactly. It's a thing I like to admire more than experience personally. So shout outs to all the actual charge takers out there, and even the JV coaches who screamed at their players for taking them without ever giving one themselves. Good take by Curl.
Curl's aggressive there. Logsdon sets up to take a charge, but changes the mind last set. Sarah Curl's at the line here. Try to get a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of offensive flow here. Let's bring it into a one-point game. Makes both of them there, ties it up as we have 17 left to go in the second half of the women's Final Four.
They have it tied. They've got it tied at 37.
Owasi trying to find the magic touch. Rico comes in to save the day. A little bit of energy coming in as NARPS has regained the lead.
NARPS back up too. Just to clarify for anybody following the score along from our stream on YouTube, it is correct now. We had NARPS shorted 1 point, so it is correct at 39-37 after the Flavortown turnover.
And here we have Grace Berry and Audrey Ricecamp coming back into the game. Shout out to Rich working the technical aspect and being the commissioner. Not easy.
You don't see a lot of commissioners on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Rich does it all. Tanaka was a hot hand early. Gets to the rim here, just a little too strong off the glass.
Little surprised at how open she was on that one. Logsdon gets around, leading scorer of the game right now with 13. Rico putting some pressure on. Tanaka looks to redeem, just off to the left.
We've definitely seen Flavortown take a lot more threes than NARPS, but they certainly have a couple shooters out there as well.
NARPS was running a zone earlier, but those threes Flavortown has racked up, has moved them to man-to-man as Tanaka gets the steal.
Yeah, NARPS doing a good job changing defenses. Nice finish from Westland off the Tanaka feed.
And now NARPS up 4.
Reclaiming some momentum, but yeah, back in a man-to-man now with an emphasis on defending the post whenever Logsdon touches it.
Over to Michaela Marie. Bit long, can't get it. Offensive rebound.
Another chain, a little bit of a dangerous post feed. Referees with a difference in opinion.
And here we see maybe a little bit of a second wind happening for NARPS, and a little bit of that fatigue starting to set in for Flavortown as correction ball going Flavortown's way.
Yeah, I did think that was the correct call from where we're sitting. What a pass off 1 foot.
Logs in. Nice 15-footer there.
Yeah, hoists a little bit from the side of her head, kind of from the shoulder, but it's very effective.
A little Sean Marion-esque. Logs meets curl at the rim.
Gets the bucket on one end and comes out of nowhere for the swat at the other.
Curls finds it in rhythm. Just off the side of the backboard. Barry with a great first step. Behind the back.
Oh, the no look behind the back.
That's a highlight.
Carpenter, a big-time shooter, has missed a couple open looks she'd like to have back, but after a feed like that, that's falling every time.
Find that highlight on the Round League Instagram soon.
Yeah, that'll be on the gram.
You know, I said Steve Nash earlier, but that was a little bit of a white chocolate right there.
Yeah, a little bit more flair to that one. Shout-outs to J-Dub, White Chocolate, Jason Williams, wherever he may be. Former teammate of Randy Moss's in high school. Thought about it.
Yeah. Carpenter over to Barry, who finds Rice Camp. A little bit of spin,
Got sped up just a little bit too much there. Nice move.
Again, it looks like NARPS has kind of foregone the high pick and roll here. Step back.
Westland's been more effective around the rim for most of tonight. Big stop for Flavortown.
Barry checks the clock to see 12 minutes left to go in the second half here. Winner moving on to the championship.
It's been Hopkins who's been on the ball, bringing it up quite a bit tonight, but I like moving Grace Barry to the point, letting Hopkins play off and spot up a little bit more. Good look for Logston. Curl with the rebound. We're feeling the energy pickup right now. It's getting pretty lit in here.
Curl's able to finish the and one here. Picks up another very important foul on Liz Logsden.
NARPS seems to have a cheering section to the left end.
And that's 3 on Logsden.
That's going to be big if she picks up a 4th one with still a good amount of time left. We're at about 12 minutes to go. NARPS back up 2 after the 3-point play from Curl.
Over to Carpenter. A lot of movement coming from Flavortown.
Even with NARPS and more of a matchup man-to-man, they're still trying to play through Logston at the high post some.
Seeing the defensive pressure pick up a little bit here.
I like the screen and roll game with Barry and Logston, but a great play there by Sarah Rico.
Kawasi over to Tanaka. Good recovery defense by Flavortown to get back in transition.
Oh my. Almost the give and go of the day. NARPS has had a couple of them. Westland doesn't want the 3 that time.
Over and back here. But the pressure definitely has ramped up.
Yeah, you can feel the defensive pressure from sitting here getting heavier on for both sides. Mulheim is back in, another dangerous shooter.
And
on cue. Is it the Apple Watch, Julian? It might be.
yeah,
It's also that terrific backspin she's got.
yeah, I saw that Apple Watch light up green for a perfect release on that.
Okay, maybe it's that. Does it light up? Does it help you with your getting your release on point? We're going to get to the bottom of this.
And a quick reminder, NARPS started out this game up 20-8 as Flavortown has made their way back into the game using their depth of the bench.
Owase getting into the lane, couldn't finish that time. Getting a little chippy between Hopkins and Rico.
There again, Logsdon, leading scorer of the game at 17.
Puts Flavortown up 3 there. I think a good timeout for NARPS. We've got 9:40 to go. I don't know if they've got one more or if that's it.
There it is. Flavortown with 2 timeouts remaining. NARPS with 1.
And anticipate them maybe trying to hold on to that as long as they need to into the closing minutes. Flavortown, I would guess, will probably use one of their 2 remaining in about the 6-5 minute mark, something like that.
And you can see on the camera now, sitting on the bench, is a key piece to Flavortown, Brittany Kokendorfer, who went down at the end of the first half with a sprained ankle.
Yeah, she was starting to really heat up after, again, a cold start for most of Flavortown. Not sure if we're going to see her return to this one, but a big loss if so. See if NARPS has anything drawn up specifically out of the timeout right here.
And yeah, looking at the roster, just a tough day for NARPS as 5 of their 13 players are here today, leaving them with no bench.
Yeah, it's a very impressive performance from NARPS, taking on a really good Flavortown team as Molheim gets the lay-in in transition, but obviously not at even close to full strength. And in this one, with a chance of the championship on the line, Tanaka just misses.
Over to Carpenter in the corner.
Flavortown up 5 with the ball. I believe that's their largest lead of the game.
Hopkins gives them a little bit more breathing room here. Puts them up 8.
And Casson Hopkins, not her best performance from beyond the arc, but we know what kind of shooter she is. It looks like it's going down every time. And we knew if they continued to put them up, some more would start to fall eventually, and that's exactly what's happened.
And here we have Grace Berry.
She wants to clear out against Curl, making this a little personal.
And Berry right now that's going to be her 6th assist with 5 rebounds.
Amanda Carpenter hit a couple threes. It's got to be up above double-digit scoring at this point as well. So all of a sudden, Flavortown's up 11 and threatening to run away with this a little bit.
Hopkins up top, looking to continue the streak. A good backdoor action. You got a little Chris Paul floater on
I was going to say we brought up the Steve Nash comparison, but on that runner, a little bit of CP3 to Grace Berry's game as well. She is a true point.
And Hopkins there with the hustle play to draw the jump ball. 7 minutes to go here in our second game of our doubleheader.
Good find by Wesleyan. Tanaka
Tanaka
gets that one to go. Breaks out of a little bit of a drought, makes it a 10-point game. Oh my. Put it on the gram, Julian.
Yeah.
Just hit one, can't make it 2 in a row. Good rebound from Curl there. And Wesleyan hit one on line.
And Rico gets called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, not sure what Rico really did there. It looked like she was going for the ball and was bumped on her way a little bit. Scores table letting Shanice Owese know she's got 3 fouls. Probably can't let affect that how you play defense too much at this point. You've got to stay aggressive. Miss from Logsdon leads to a run out. Tough shot. Yeah.
The offensive.
Flavortown's shown a lot of patience on offense, but at this point down 12, may need to start thinking about speeding things up a little bit, forcing the issue a tad more.
NARPS looking to break into that lead with that 3 from Muwasi. Can't get it to fall.
Mulheim maybe hitting our toughest shot of the night, off balance, falling away a little bit with a hand in her face.
Off of 1 foot. Some spectacular plays we've seen in the second half so far.
And Rico, a really good shooter, just a bit short there. You wonder about the legs. Again, everybody on NARPS has played this entire game. Only 5 players available. Good rebound from Westland there. She'll bring it up herself.
An interesting tactic here as NARPS is looking to slow it down with 4 minutes to remain.
Yeah, continuing to try and run their stuff.
Even though down 14. Again, winner advancing to play Still Got It, who played in our first game of our doubleheader today, which will be available on YouTube shortly.
Hopkins has got the shot dialed in. Again, after a bit of a rocky start, she hits another one with her feet underneath her. One of the more dangerous shooters in this postseason tournament.
Flavortown now up 16. Flavortown in red, NARPS in white. Ooh, Mulheim with a little bit of a gamble there. Can't get it to pay off.
Not sure how Rico stayed on the floor there. Could find it Tanaka in the corner.
NARPS had a lot of good looks tonight. Just can't get them to quite fall. As Uwase commits the foul on.
That would be a tough. Uwase's gotten a couple block shots against Logsdon and other taller players.
Flavortown has a pretty balanced night so far with Logsdon at 17, Mulheim at 15, and Hopkins at 14.
Yeah, again, we've talked about the chemistry of this team. I think it really helped them. They had about 9 points through the first 10 minutes, but didn't really show any panic, continued to get the same kinds of shots, and eventually the game turned for them. They force another turnover there as the wells kind of dried up offensively for NARPS a little bit.
If you tuned in to both games or just this game, make sure to shout out your favorite players, send them a text, say what's up, let them know how the game went, and then follow the Round League on Instagram.
Do that first. Give a follow first, then leave your shout outs.
And you might see some highlights of them on Round League, like probably I would say our highlight of the game is Grace Berry's either behind the back pass to Carpenter for 3 or behind the back transition layup.
Shanice Owase with that spin cycle and the floater in the first half's up there as well. Beautiful cut. Just shuffled the feet a little bit.
Here we have 2 minutes to go.
I think the fatigue of NARPS has kind of has given the officials a break from some of the more vocal criticism they typically receive late in some of these games.
Yeah, and hats off to both teams. Hats off to NARPS for running 5s for 40-odd minutes with only 5 minutes of warm-up. It's not the easiest task.
Not an easy thing to do. Sure, they'll wish they could have had just one or two more of their regular pieces here for this one, as Logsdon adds one more mid-range.
And there's the 20-point mark for Logsdon.
Leading everybody. Rico going to get another 3 up. There it is.
Rico finding the touch that she had to start the game a little late in the second half.
Continuing to play with everything they've got left defensively. They look for a stop. This is where you wish you had the shot clock late to kind of force Flavortown to hurry things up.
And under 1 minute here, and it's looking like Flavortown will go on to compete against Still Got It in the finals on Wednesday out at the Round Ball HQ.
Logsdon gets fouled on the putback.
And that is Wednesday, October 4th.
We will be here for it.
We'll also be here for the men's Final Four on Monday, October 2nd.
Again, they've got the quarterfinals set for this weekend, so we don't know the matchups for that yet, but it's going to be a war. I'm comfortable predicting that. Chance to get one more up for NARPS if they want it. Rico does. It's money, too.
And there you have it. Flavortown, led by Liz Logsdon, will go on to take on Still Got It in the championship of the Summer 2023 Women's Round League. As always, make sure to follow the Round League on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in.
See you soon.